And we are heading in to the event finally. The crack of muskets breaking the silence. During the Fontanalia festival, children carry baskets and head up and down the streets asking for candies. That does not sound good for their health or their teeth. As you roam the vibrant festive streets, you might just meet some familiar faces. We are going, why do you always default me to Leeway? Right to the front. Got it. I think I've teleported to this waypoint since I first got to Fontaine. It's the only time I've come through the front door. Alright, where are we going? Come on, Verena, let's go.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. I'm really facing a crisis. My hands are tied.
But what about my film?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Take it from me. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Same goes for this film festival.
Oh.
He's so dramatic.
Hey, isn't that Xavier?
Yeah, it is.
So he's back in Fontaine now.
Good for him. He travelled quite a long distance, wasn't he, in Inazuma?
Xavier!
I still find that a weird way to pronounce the name.
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear Traveler and Paimon. I really didn't expect to bump into you here at this time.
How you been?
Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer able to provide the promised amount of funds.
Aww.
Can't you just find a different investor?
If it were that simple, Paimon, wouldn't everybody have an investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontanalia Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with any other investors until the festival is finished.
Wait. Hold up. So they're unable to fulfill their part of the bargain. Therefore, your contract is null and void. You should therefore be able to grab other investors during the festival, because if they can't hold their part of the contract doesn't exist. It ceases to exist once it's either completed or one of the parties cannot fulfill their part of the bargain.
The Fontanalia Film Festival? What's that?
Oh, is this your first time participating in Fontaine's Fontanalia Film Festival?
Yeah.
Then allow me to fill you in. The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconageria.
Hold up, what? Went on a quest to search for the Oceanids. Why are they looking for the Oceanids? The only reason I can find that they'd be looking for the Oceanids is if they had gone and departed and looking for Egeria. But then you say they welcomed the Hydro Archon Egeria, which is insinuating this is when Egeria first came onto the Archon throne. But then why would the Oceanids not be here? Or did they only come when she came? And then the question is, why would they be looking for the Oceanids in the first place if they hadn't been a part of Fontaine at that point? It's all one very big loop. I'm very confused.
The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
So why do the Loch Knights no longer exist? Were they formed particularly for that endeavor?
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books, in order to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics. I usually try to recite things straight from the source.
Smart. I don't blame you for that. But who would quibble on semantics in this instance? Is there something controversial about the Loch Knights and their endeavors?
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets
Or the
it
forming
now.
of Fontaine?
It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt, and the Lantern Rite in Lille.
Correct, but way less cool.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like a good festival? And just like those of other nations, Fontaine will hold a plethora of events around this time each year. to commemorate the Loch Nights. People will imitate them by putting
Why?
on special costumes, raising golden cups, and going door to door asking for pure water.
Does he mean for us or for them that it happens this time every year? I think it's really silly that we have a festival so close to the Lantern Rite Festival. Why would you put two so close together? It makes no sense. Wouldn't you want to evenly spread them out throughout the year?
But a few years ago, Lady Farina started to find the whole idea a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to sweets.
That must have vexed Novelette. He would have preferred the pure water. Also, why sweets? Are we trying to increase the level of obesity here in Fontaine?
Really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year you can hear a bunch of them saying, "Trial or treat."
I wish they hadn't pulled on Halloween.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does that connect back to the film festival you mentioned?
Ah, yes, it appears I've strayed off topic.
Oh, there's what's her
I
face.
just got too excited after
Chavez.
seeing you. Let me get back to the point. The Fontanalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Farina Award by the association.
Of course it's called the Farina Award.
The what award?
Wouldn't that then insinuate that Farina can't participate because she is a biased member?
The Farina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Farina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name. Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Farina is still Fontaine's superstar. Anyone with eyes can see the way she shines on the stage.
Alright, guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who traveled all the way here from Inazuma.
Chiori? Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that name before?
Teoria Boutique.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
How to describe her?
And Clarence.
Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering Seamstress.
I'm sure there was a better word you could have picked than thundering.
Her remarkable designs have led many Fontanians to become very interested in Inazuma. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international
paying
cast
for
for the
them?
film. She really is a kind soul.
Inazuma is a very long way, literally the other side of Tibet from Fontaine. Who's paying for these people to travel? Yes, I know when you know who the people are, you know they can afford it themselves. But the point is they shouldn't have to afford it themselves if they were invited. So again, who's paying for them?
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them? Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
Okay, the crack of muskets breaking the silence. Is Chevreuse still there in the background? Never mind, we're going to do the event opening. Okay. Check that out in a sec. I want to go to speak to Chevreuse. The arrival of a ... Hi. Oh, you can't even talk to her? I guess we don't know her yet, do we? That kind of makes sense. Holy sweet baby Jesus. How many quests did you just give me? Main quest. Let's just continue with the main quest and then we'll worry about those in a sec. I feel like it's a lot more important. Where are we going? To continue the main story. This is the way to get into the Aquabus station, isn't it? I've only been there once before. I never used the Aquabuses. Watch your child, I'm gonna whack into you. Oof, Lovey, you gotta watch where you're going, girl. Is there a particular floor you want me on? Higher 66 meters. I don't know what level that is, you know? Ma'am, can you please help me?
Looks like you're running out of time.
What level? Let's say that 50 meters is only level 2. Actually, I don't think we're far off the mark. I think it is level 2. Yay! Made it. Tiori? I like the orange. Yellowy orange, whatever color it is.
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet.
Not the personality I was going for, but okay. I was expecting someone a little more upbeat, shall we say. Okay, I really love her eyes. Her eyes are gorgeous, and from what I can tell from her hair, it looks cool, but I guess I can't really see much of it. And you'd think with a character with this much detail, she would actually be a playable character, but whatever.
Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Sorry, I'm still checking out her outfit. So she's got lace gloves on as well. Okay, is this an obi? Is that the name of the belt? She is a playable character! Ha! I called it. But why are you the most useless element of all, Chiori? Bloody Geo. Why would you? Yeah, I think this is called an obi, but I think this is too big and chunky. It would have looked nice if it was tinier and more delicate. I like her hair though. I do like the streaks of yellow, but ew.
Likewise, we've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
The way Navia's wardrobe comes together is really exceptional. The concept behind Kurara, I didn't really care about Kurara's outfit.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me,
I love her
what
eyes.
happened?
They're gorgeous.
I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Well, it's like this.
Gosh. That is detailed and requires a shit ton of hair. How much, like, fake hair does she have on her head to really get this effect?
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
She reminds me of Kimmy dolls. That's what she reminds me of. Kimmy dolls are these little figures that come in different styles. You can have just a little figurine that sits in your desk in like a mini size or a maxi size. You can get scent. What are they called? The scent things you put in your car? Scent fresheners? I don't know. As a little tiny mini figurine that you can hang from your rearview mirror. And they essentially are just Asian figures. I think they're Japanese. Little Japanese figures in their yukata? No, it's been too many years. Kimono, I'm not quite sure what specifically they're wearing because I didn't really pay like close enough attention. With different hairstyles and hair colors and the eyes similar to this. So that's what she reminds me of. It's only fresh in my mind because I had to buy a new air freshener the other day for my car because mine died. So that's why it's on my mind. But that's what her eyes specifically remind me of.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Like when she blinks, eyes are closed. That's what it reminds me of.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film.
I don't blame you for that, but I blame you for your choice in sponsor.
The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of Mora, so...
I've got more to spare, but I don't know that I'm really dedicated to this particular task.
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
She's always so free with my Mora. Paimon, the minute you earn it is the minute that you can offer it.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any Mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
You clearly don't know how much more I have up my sleeve.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet. The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
They're after prestige. No, they're not. Totally not. Is Ayaka going to be wearing her Fontanian outfit already? Or does she change into it later? Ayato needs a matching outfit. No, she's wearing it. Nee. Yumiya!
Then where do you live?
We Melusines live in Mercy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Of course Yumiya is the one who's going to be fascinated by the Melusines.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
We are so thoughtful. But some Melusines choose to live in the court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
Ayato's just enjoying
This
the
is our
pleasant
stop.
trip.
Oh, we've arrived. But I haven't even finished chatting with Abel yet.
I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Thank you so much. I'm usually working here on this aqua bus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Can we elaborate on that? Why were you in a rush to leave? Because something bad happened in Inazuma? Or is it just because you wanted to start your business in Fontaine?
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they're who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon.
Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
No. It's interesting, though, that Yumiya's vision is placed in the same spot as Chiori. Hold up. What outline did Chiori have on hers? Chiori, can I see your waistline again?
We just ran into
Other
Xavier
side,
earlier
other side.
and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
I thought I would always get the lead role.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy, and I didn't want to disturb you.
He had no faith in us.
So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh my gosh, there she goes. All flirty Ayaka.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this?
In this game, extraordinarily high.
Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
That's fine, but I want another look at Chiori's vision.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yes, of course, of course.
She's covering it.
I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Are these peonies? What? Poppies? I don't know. What is this flower? It's pretty. I don't know what it is though.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Ayato didn't say hello to me? Rude. That hurts. You're my strongest character and you cannot say hello. You can
Wow.
stay.
Buildings
Okay,
in Fontaine are so
Okay.
tall.
I just saw
Look
it.
how big they are.
It's really not. Chiori's vision does have an Inazuman border.
And there's the fountain
Same
that
as
Abel
Yumiya's.
mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight.
See, the border with the 3 circles and the cross of the sash down the bottom, that's the Inazuman style, and Chiori has the Inazuman style.
And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power?
Wouldn't you like
Wait a
to
sec.
know?
Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
Yes, but probably not the one you're referring to. Go to Hector de Boer's second floor. It has a second floor? I don't know that we've ever been to the second floor of Hector de Boer, have we? No, we ate in the foyer. Wait, what? Is it on the same level as us? I thought it was down the bottom. Whoopsies. My mistake. Sorry, Freyna, I'm making you climb. God, you really worked for it. My apologies. I didn't go to the second floor, though.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Who are the other two chairs for?
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew. A lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Jesus, where has he gotten this money from?
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you
Why
sent me on the way
two?
here. The story is pretty good.
Why two?
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
Oh? What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
See? I had those on my side.
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before the case could even be heard.
It's not very useful.
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the problem?
Then instead of having your silly little musicals, plays, and magician shows in the Opera Epiclese, how about having more actual court proceedings occur every day? Get yourself a second courtroom, a second judge, smash out these court proceedings, and then you can do them in a timely fashion.
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival's submission deadline.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
I don't think you understand how much money they come from.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation. Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine
Because
in the
you live too
past,
far away, that's why.
so we hope this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. It's my hope that the film can be finished and released as smoothly as possible. If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
All right. I'll do as you say. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera, and every single family heirloom.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, alright? Just baby steps.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
We can help too. Just say that you got our contribution from some personal oh god.
Me too. Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
Who's paying for her? Is she paying her way here?
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to...
Ew. All right, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support, and 2 leads who are willing to act for free, I think we will be able to make this happen.
Did she actually just ill him?
So, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
All right, pull yourself together, Xavier. Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
All right. Let me think. We still need a camera operator, a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting. The work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
It really doesn't. It's very straightforward.
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
It's the job that requires the least amount of effort.
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that.
What do you mean always wanted to? You didn't even know what a movie was until recently.
All right, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Oh, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the Traveler take the role.
Oh, she's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
Photos are not quite the same thing as a film, though, Paimon.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we worked together previously.
I'm sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Teyvat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
It really isn't. You're overstating the matter, guys.
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the job?
I'd rather be director. As long as I'll be able to help.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
I think we'd better get to work.
So all that's left for us to find is a director and an assistant.
Oh, me! I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their own films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Oh, Farina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
And everybody kept telling me, you don't have to do the character stories before you do the event quests. You can start them without doing them. Ha! I laugh at all of you. That would have made no sense to me if I hadn't done the story quest. I'd be like, what? Huh?
Farina? Do you
Navia
really
come into
think
this?
Lady Farina would be willing to help us with our humble project?
Well, she does have free time.
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe not too long ago, and now she's taking up work as a director.
Well,
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect, and the storyboards were also excellent. Don't let her former identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll never know until you give her a shot.
I don't know if her voice actress sounds familiar or just the way she's speaking sounds familiar for a character.
fine. You're right, Shiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything!
If that's the case, I can think of a way you can make some money.
Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Farina's residence.
Again?
I just hope she'll agree to help.
We dropped by unannounced for a second time.
Do you need
Jesus.
us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you've just arrived in Fontaine, and I'm sure there are many places you would like to visit. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
So how and where do we meet up again later?
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
Waiting where?
I'll go with
Where are
you.
you staying?
By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Farina's place. We know Farina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
Just get her some dessert. She'll be fine.
A gift for someone who was once seen as the Hydra Oricon. I wonder what she would like.
Cake.
I recall that Lady Farina once fancied a clockwork ring, so perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
Just get her cake, man. Don't overthink it.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like
Yep.
the Fontanalia mousse?
That's exactly what we should be doing.
But wouldn't that be a little too cheap? She does like desserts, though.
She very much likes her desserts.
Isn't the Fontanalia festival happening right now? I heard Abel tell us on the Aquabus that Farina introduced the tradition of going door to door and asking for sweets. To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
Dude, you do not see her not consuming sugar.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually make her feel more uncomfortable.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontanalia mousse.
From where?
But will that really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontanalia mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
You give her the opportunity to keep the statue?
But what could that be?
She get a statue of herself?
Your words of praise.
For whom? Her? Meaning Farina. Okay. Go to her apartment.
You go ahead. No need to worry about us.
Oh, I hope Farina will like the gifts we prepared. Oh, and if you still think we should get something else for her, just let me know. I should be able to make some fireworks.
You know, you probably should do that anyway. She'd probably get a kick out of that. Ayato.
Looking forward to the good news.
Why are you so bland, bro? I haven't seen you in ages, and you're not being very useful to me. You're as interesting as a piece of toast right now.